want to share with you. And I want to share with you about your mental health, my mental health as well, and how to keep yourself safe from getting hurt. And I use different strategies to do that. And I want to share you these hacks so that it can help you out when you're going through times when you feel insecure and when you're feeling vulnerable. Use these hacks to help you out. Number one, you got to remember, I learned this from Tony Robbins, was you got to remember three things at that moment that you are being vulnerable or insecure. The first thing is you got to think what you're focusing on, okay? What your focus is on. And the second one is very important, what it means, what it means. And then the third one, what are you going to do about it? And doing about it too is the other side of it because you got to face whatever that you have your focus on. So first of all, question number one, what are you focusing on? And whatever it is, good or bad, it depends on what meaning you put to it. So if you're in a like bad situation, if you're in a situation that you are down, you are almost out, how could you see that in a positive way? How could you give positive meaning to that so that it keeps you going? And that's what successful people do. When they see something that's like about to pull them down, what they do in their mind is they change the meaning of whatever that is they're focusing on. And then when they change the meaning of it, the third thing comes, and that's doing something about it. What will you do about it now? So these three things, they is a reminder to me when I am faced with difficult situations or when I'm going through a time when I feel insecure and vulnerable. I I ask myself these questions. What am I focusing on? What does this mean? Change the meaning. Now, I want to tell you about Les Brown. He was encouraging a sister who had lost her father. She had lost her father, and she was really sorrowful about it. And Les Brown said something that really changed how she saw things. Because when you give meaning to something, you change your perception, you change how you see it. So instead of seeing it as it was a sad thing that happened, sad thing that happened, this is what Les Brown said to her. Instead of crying over or being sorrowful over the fact that he's gone, that your father is gone, rejoice in the fact that you had so many years with your father and you spent the best times with him, and he died at an old age. So you can rejoice at the fact that the person who has passed away you had so much time with, or you can cry and cry over it that you didn't, that he's gone and that you won't see him again. And that's what I did for my mother. When my mother passed away, it was like 4 years ago. When she passed away, I remember focusing on it and getting the meaning out of it, that I had spent quality time with my mom and I had shown her my love. And I thank God that I was able to do that while she was still alive. And from there on, I was stronger. In fact, I was the strongest among all my siblings to lead out in whatever it was, the funeral and stuff. And so, how you see things depends on what meaning you put to it. So be very careful. Be very careful. It may look like it's a bad thing on the outside, but remember, in order to protect your mental health, you have to give it the right meaning. You have to give it a positive meaning. And that's what's going to keep you safe and secured. And after you give it meaning, do something about it. And when people take action to what they fear, that's the first step of eliminating the fear. So take action after you give meaning to that thing and make sure you give positive meaning to whatever it is you're focusing on right now. So this is the first thing that I learned from Tony Robbins. I learned it a long time ago and I thought that I wouldn't use it, but I guess I'm using it, and I realized that, man, I need this. So every time, every day, as I go through life's journey, and you have to make decisions every now and then. The next thing I want to share with you is about how you protect yourself from other people's actions or thoughts or words to you. What people say or think or do to you is from their own end. It's from their own end. And sometimes, people may not be nice to you. Not everyone is going to be nice to you. There's going to be people who just want to hurt you for no reason. Like, I get the first time I started going on social media, especially on Facebook, I started getting hurt because of the comments that would come in when I didn't do something right, or somebody suggested something else, or they even badmouthed me. So in my country, it's even worse. So that's what happened, and I would get hurt very easily until I developed thick skin. And one very big reason why it will, I developed that thick skin was because I kept giving a story behind what that person was doing. Example, if somebody swears me on social media or something like that, I give that story that this person has lived in a settlement area, or has lived among people who swear a lot, and or they maybe they had a bad day, so they're doing this bad thing and to anyone they see. So you see, when you give that story in your mind about a person's um, what they're doing and why they're doing it, when you give a story behind that, you give reason to understand them, so that you don't judge them the starting. Okay, because some people, many people, and they do not mean to do things, bad things to you, but because of what's happening in their own lives, that they start to do these things to you. So before you judge others, before you give your wrath, your anger, your to blow your trumpet, make sure to put an understanding, put a story in your mind that maybe this person, why would this person become this negative, this um, uh, bad? It's because something's happened in their life that's not good, and it's they're taking it out on you, and you might be the innocent one. So in saying that, this will guide you, it will, sorry, not guide, but guard you from getting hurt by other people, especially those ones who directly come come to you to hurt you, like they, especially word mouth and bad mouth you and all of that. So two things that I use to help me stay secured inside, and especially mentally. Number one, focus what you're focusing on, give positive meaning to it, and then take action on it. And number two, give a story behind why the person is doing that bad thing to you. And make up a story that maybe they had a bad day, or something bad happened in their family, or they grew up in such an environment that was um, a lot of swearing and accusing and blah blah blah. Okay, like a bad environment. So when you do that, that's gonna keep you safe. I hope this video helps. Sorry that it's gone too long than I expected. But when you watch back, I'm doing this so that people who need to be secured and who need to feel safe will use these hacks, will use these strategies. So if you just joined me now, guys, check back on the video and you'll find out some hacks that you can use to keep you safe. This is Sam Fab, signing out.